Hi everyone, my name is Joseph and I'm here at Chicago 2024 AILA Conference. I just attended the National Interest Waiver section. Phenomenal. Great advice. I'm going to share them with you right here, right now. Let's go. The first thing is I didn't know there's so many people filing for NIW cases. Traditionally, it's about 10,000, but up to now, this year alone, it was already 30,000, meaning it could get to 60 or more by the end of the year. It's an incredible increase. It's fivefold, sixfold increase. Now, USCIS probably didn't expect that. There's no way nobody expected that, right? The USCIS policy guidance from previous years made NIW more attractive and easier, but it didn't shoot up the numbers until this year. And potentially what we see is because of the other EB2, EB3 backlogs. Because we're seeing things get longer and longer and longer, so people who are stuck with their company and they want to transition between companies, they decided to file the EB2 and NIW. At the same time, there were tons of layoffs. Who were the people laying off? The tech workers. And who are the tech workers? Some of the most highly educated STEM majors. So everybody who got laid off, maybe they already had an I-140, maybe they didn't. Well, now they're not with a company anymore, so their only option, one of their only option, is to file the EB2 NIW. So multiple reasons have caused this year's spike in numbers of filing. Again, traditionally 10,000 to 30, potentially more. And then if that prediction is correct, maybe next year it will drop back down 20, 30,000, but who knows? Given this scenario, what does that mean? Well, one, if what we're saying is true, that does not mean the EB2 backlog is going to significantly increase. Because if you're going from the original I-140 to a new EB2 and NIW, you're not taking up a new slot. Second thing is USCIS going to approve every single one? No. At the end of the day, there's still the sense that they have to grade on a curve, right? I don't know if that's like official by law. It doesn't seem fair if it is. But the truth is, if there are 10 cases in front of you, you're not going to give every single person a green card. There are going to be adjudication standards changes. And now this doesn't have to be approved by Congress. It just has to be clear, articulated, and internal. And so this year, we are seeing tons of new NIW requests for evidence, significant challenges to traditionally what would easily be approved. But right now, just challenged all across the board. Now, NIW, what makes it hard is that you need to prove, on balance, it's much more beneficial to give you the green card, give you the opportunity to cut in line, to waive the requirement for you to go through the perm process, as opposed to just making you go through a perm process. You have to be well positioned in order to advance this crazy good national interest endeavor. So what's the story you're telling? In the past, you didn't need to provide so many documents, but now we're seeing USCIS request a lot of documents. Traditionally, we've provided a few key memos from the government. We've quoted presidents, we've quoted the Federal Reserve, we quoted different major cabinet level positions, plus the client's background, plus a statement of intent and a business plan, and it could get approved, right? I mean, traditionally. Now we want to see so much more. What are the contracts? What are the websites? What are the any investors? Any validations? Letter recommendations? They want a lot more to show that you're actually going to make it happen. The thing is, what makes this so crazy is that you need to prove every single year you're going to be important. So that's a big bombshell to the EB2 and NIW update. Now, here's a really fun thing that I learned that I've never done before, and I don't know if we're going to do. But because of the high volume of applicants, there's a high volume of requests for evidence. And when that happens, some of the requests for evidence inevitably will say something like this, and perhaps you got one too. The client did not provide this information, or we want to see this. The law requires this. The client did not provide any information, so we want to see this. And they provided a list. Well, we clearly provided it. We gave you 500 pages, 1,000 pages of documents, and there's all these things we gave you, but you didn't recognize any of it. This lawyer said that they called USCIS and asked, hey, we submitted everything. What happened? The RFE clearly says you guys don't have it or don't see it. What should we do? Should we resubmit everything? And the answer is yes, submit everything. So all the attorney did was resubmit everything with a new cover letter. and the case got approved. So basically, you submitted the case, you got a request for evidence, you completely ignore the request for evidence, and you resubmit everything. There's no time constraint on the attorney, no time constraint on the client. You probably could get it done the same day if everything was already scanned and printed out. That's great. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know. I've never done that. Normally what we do is we tell the officer, hey, maybe it got lost in the mail. Maybe it couldn't get scanned. So we're resubmitting everything, and we want to provide a further explanation on everything. So basically, we redo the case according to what the USCIS officer wants. But never had the guts to just resubmit everything and ignore the RFE. That is crazy. But that's what I love about AILA. You get to hear different experts share their secret sauces. Maybe they're fed up. Maybe they have like 50 cases, and all 50 of them had these type of boilerplate RFEs that they don't want to spend the time to do. And so they did that and they got approval, right? And so that's a cool trick. The last bit of takeaway from this session is because of the huge number of NIW applicants and that the priority date is gonna still stay that long, if not longer, a lot of people who have their NIW approved should just start upgrading to EB1A, right? We've done that. People who've already, because your priority date is locked, you already have it. So EB1, there might be a priority date still, but because your EB2 NIW or EB2 was already approved years ago, you could directly file, and if it gets approved, immediately, same day, file for adjustment of status. And then your whole family gets a green card, So if your NIW is approved, you're like, maybe 30, 40, 50% there to your EB1A application. So do yourself a favor, prepare the case, file it, and see what happens. There's no harm if it fails. It's just time. Ultimately, EB2 NIW and EB1A, those are applications that you invest in yourself, okay? These are things that you build up yourself, you build up your reputation, you build up your connections, you file, and you get a green card because of your own merit. So don't lose hope. It's worthwhile even if you fail. With that, we'll close this session. I'll see you in the next session.